Welcome to episode 2 of What We Watched Last Weekend, the visual podcast in which we talk about the movies that we watched last weekend. I'm Lady Shasha, the mistress of snark, the blood Goldilocks, and a connoisseur of gore.
And I'm Tony Man, aka Cities Love Me, the Gen X AV Club reject. And this week we're gonna take a look at some impressive Irish horror films. I'm relatively a newcomer to Irish horror, but I've seen the Hole in the Ground, which was the little kid that was a doppelganger. Would you call that a doppelganger?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Why is it not displaying?
Also, I watched
Wait.
Unwelcome. Sorry, I watched Unwelcome, which I really enjoyed because it was like the couple and the like people that were building the house, but they were like really mean, like they were just crazy. And then Oddity, of course, which was recency bias, of course, but Oddity, I really enjoyed that one as well. And
I remember Hole in the Ground. I think it's meant to be, um, not doppelganger. It's changeling. The legend of a changeling, when a little creature kind of replaces your child, and
yes,
then they act as though they're your child.
that was a really good movie. Now,
Oddity, that was the one where the woman's yeah, they were renovating a house, and um a woman, I'm trying to speak on it without totally spoiling it. Something happens to a woman, her sister comes to see about what happens to her, and she brings this wooden figure with her that's like a golem. I think she referred to it as a golem.
yeah,
And the movie is very atmospheric. It's very I don't know how to describe it.
tense.
Yeah, tense.
It
Um
just, I think the soundtrack just made it have like this, like gloomy,
mhm.
like dark feel to it. And
Yeah,
then,
yes, yeah.
and then, of course, my favorite, which was I'm just looking at her, Unwelcome, which was the people that had to make that they were trying to renovate the house and they had those three people come in there.
It's the one with the little cap creatures.
Oh wait, what one was the other one? Wasn't that an Irish movie too?
I'm not sure what movie you're talking about.
Remember, there were three people that came and they renovated. There was a couple that renovated a house,
Mhm.
and the dude, there was a guy, a girl, and an old man, and they
Hmm.
fought. Like the woman ended up winning, like beating the guy. She like cut the dude's throat and made him bleed out in the front yard.
I don't remember. I know what movie you're talking about, but I don't remember the name of that movie.
I thought that was the one. No, okay, so
No,
yes,
Unwelcome is the one with the that couple that had moved from England to Ireland, and the
with
lady was told to leave the plate of food out every
uh,
night for the little
liver.
creatures. Yeah, the plate of
The
liver out.
and they came. Yeah, not like that. That was wait. That was it.
But there was people fixing up the house. That's what I don't remember. I don't remember anybody fixing up the house.
Yes, there was a fat dude that was kind of mentally challenged.
Hmm.
Then there was the dad, and then there was a young dude that was like he had like I think he had a tattoo on his neck, and he wore a tank top, and he was trying to
That
yeah.
sounds like Leprechaun.
No, it wasn't Leprechaun. It was the It was the little guys. I'm telling
I
you
I
because
don't I don't remember the side plot of the fixing up the house. Um I just remember the actual little creatures and how gory it was when the creatures actually attacked.
one
That's
of
all
them.
that's what I remember. I remember the little red hat creatures, and then looking that up because I hadn't heard about red hats. And there's a term for them. They're from not only just Irish folklore but also Scottish folklore.
Hmm.
Um I forgot their proper name, but they're colloquially known as red caps.
Yes, but now
And then my picks that I remembered really, really well were Stitches, Isolation, and Wakewood. Although I've been watching Irish horror for so long, I made a Irish horror list on IMDb, but we'll come back to that. Um, let's talk a little bit about Stitches, which is a slasher movie. It's basically a slasher movie. It is about this clown that gets accidentally murked by some kids at a children's party. And 10 years later, when they're all teenagers, he comes back for revenge. There was something that instigated him rising from the grave, but I can't remember what it was. Isolation is, it's kind of like, how do I describe it? It's basically about these people that are doing experiments and they accidentally create like mutant cow creature things. It's very much feels like The Thing type movie meets The Blob meets, like, it's that feel. It's not those stories, but that feel of movie. And the gore is really, really good in that one. And Wakewood is basically Irish Pet Cemetery. But like literally everything about it is Pet Cemetery. This couple, they move to a small town, they lose their daughter. The husband finds a way of bringing the daughter back, but she does not come back the same way that she was. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of what we're really talking about today. Oh, know what? There's one more I want to talk about before we do that. I think this is a lot of people's first Irish horror film, and that was Rawhead Rex. Like that back in the 80s, I don't think people recognized that they were in Ireland, but as an adult, I can see that they were in Ireland. Obviously, this is an Irish horror film. It is based on a Clive Barker short story, and it was also gory, and I enjoy it. I know a lot of people make fun of how Rawhead Rex looks because his face doesn't have any real articulation other than the bottom jaw. I still, and also he's not as described in the short story. Like he looks totally different from what is in a short story, but I don't think they could put on screen what was in a short story because he basically was a giant phallus. But like I said, this is probably the first Irish horror movie that I saw. Did you see Rawhead Rex?
I don't. Vaguely remember seeing it, but when you said Rawhead Rex, I keep thinking of a dinosaur, like a T-Rex or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I did see it. I think it was one night. It was me, you, and your sister.
Mm-hmm. We definitely have to. You have to rewatch that.
Yes, I do.
Let's shout out the chat. Mika and Kira are here. They say good evening. Also, Oddity was one of our favorites of last year. Yeah, it was. I think it was one of the best movies from last year. Austin, the actress played both roles of the twins. I didn't know that. I really thought those were two different women. That's really good work. That's really, really good work. The couple had one job to do. Yeah, they just had to leave that plate of liver out. That's all they had to do. Yes, if you like sci-fi horror with a bit of gore, definitely watch that.
Yeah.
Loved it. And also haven't seen Rawhead Rex, but I have heard of it. You've got to check it out. It's very 80s. I will say it's very 80s. But it's a fun movie and it has some wild stuff in it. Oh, let's
Yeah.
get
The what's it gonna say? Never mind. I had thought it was a streaming thought. Whew, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So let's get into our first movie, which was suggested to us by Kira and Mika last week. It's called Sea Fever. Let me see.
Yes. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. That woman that was in Oddity was also in Doctor Strange, was it?
Mhm.
And or Infinity Wars. But okay.
Oh,
Remember, she's the one that punched the Hulk out of the Hulk.
no, that's not the same woman.
It isn't.
You're thinking no, they look similar, but that actor you're talking about is oh, I forget her name. They do look similar, but it's not the same actress. There's probably about a 15-year age difference between those two actresses.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's check out Sea Fever.
You're the scientist, I hear.
I identify and extrapolate patterns to predict ecological outcomes.
Something's wrong.
We'll steam through the exclusion zone.
Something's changing the texture of the wood.
Tell me you know what that is.
Something's getting through the hull.
What is that?
Ugh. It always bothers me when they touch it. Like, why would you touch that?
It's one animal. They were parasites in his eyes.
What are they?
They're larvae. We're all vulnerable to get infected.
I want you to test all of us.
That actually made me feel some type of way looking at that.
What, the trailer?
Yeah, there's certain things like when the creature is in the wall and they touch it, it's like, ew, why are you touching? You don't know
Well,
what that is.
But she
Why
stuck
are
a
you
pencil
touching
through it,
that?
like
Yeah.
you. As a matter of fact, I mean, you when it stuck to when it stuck to the wall. First of all, I don't know why the captain pulled out the knot of the wood, and it
Mm-hmm.
revealed like the. You said it looked like a body part, but I'm not going to say what you said it looked
Oh, I'll,
like.
I'll say it looked like a sphincter would be the medical term. That's what it looked like. And then you're gonna stick your finger near a sphincter, near an unknown sphincter. You don't know what it belongs to. Yeah, that was a no.
Yeah,
The part that made me wince was the there's a part in the trailer where they show something being spit up into the sink, and you can see all the little larvae in it. That's what made me wince because it's like, ugh,
but
that was gross.
that wasn't spit up though.
No, that was that
If
from
you
his
remember,
eyeballs?
no, that was that one good kill when his eyeballs exploded,
Yeah.
and then it was just like everybody else has died.
Hmm.
But like I thought, I wanted it to be a little more gory. Like, I mean, I get it, but it was, you know,
I think that is chopped up to whatever production budget they had, because I also would have preferred more kills, but you would have needed a larger crew in a bigger vessel, and you can see on here that the boat is pretty small, and I think their crew was only 8 people. If
I mean,
that, it might have only been 7, but
yeah, but what do you need? How many people do you need in a horror movie to die?
um my first thought was all of them. No, no.
Huh.
Not necessarily all of them, but at least enough to have like a uh
Three five
interesting amount,
seven?
you know?
Isn't it like 357?
Well, that's for slasher movies. A lot that specifically the cabin in the woods type slasher movies usually have 5 to 7 characters. But I mean, that's not really a rule that's set in stone. It's just something that we happen to notice is done over and over again.
And as you say, I want to say, put this up. Yeah, Kira, we found out like because when we watched the movie, um, Lady Shasha and her sister were like, I don't understand this whole red haired thing, and I looked it up, and apparently having a woman with red hair or a person with red hair on a boat is not it's bad luck. It's bad luck if they get on a boat and they don't introduce themselves to you, or you don't
No, it's
talk
bad
to
luck
them right away.
if you don't talk to them right away. It's bad
Right.
luck.
If you don't talk to them right away, it's bad luck and things can happen. And then, and then the other thing was when we were talking about the movie, there was like a little line in the movie where when she was like, the red haired girl was like, I'm gonna go dive. I'm gonna dive too. And she asked the captain, can you swim? And he said no. And then the woman said it's better for a sailor to not know how to swim and die quickly than to, I guess, tread water and die. Like, it don't elongate
And
the
die
death.
slowly, yeah. Because
And
where they are, if the boat sinks, the likelihood of someone coming to find them is pretty low because they went really, really way out into the water. So I think that's what they meant by it's better for the sailor to not know how to swim so that they can have a quick and easy demise.
yeah, especially out there. But I
Mhm.
think that would be anywhere because, like, just drowning in general, just like going on a boat in general just freaks me out. I don't like deep water like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I didn't That was good. And now, I mean, if we're going to talk about the movies we watched this weekend, I want to talk about. I didn't know there were so many Irish. I didn't know Irish vampires were like a thing
Yeah, yeah.
before last weekend. I had no idea.
And we didn't even get to watch all of them because I still have Byzantium that's on my list, but we did get to see From the Dark.
Yes. Oh, and I'm sorry to button it all up. Sorry, really quickly. Double feature. I did enjoy the what do you call it? The movie that we just watched.
Sea Fever.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind here. But yeah, no, I enjoyed Sea Fever, and I get why they called it Sea Fever, because if they go out to the beat, like, you know. By the way, that captain was a jack. He was a jackass. Why would you, when the Coast Guard tells you don't go into this area, but that's where the fish are, and they could drive, you immediately knew it was one of those horror movie tropes. Like your ass shouldn't have been there to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what. But the whole movie, it was very suspenseful, but I feel like it could have been a little bit better in certain aspects of it, like the gore. But yeah, I mean, I guess I enjoyed it. What did you think of it?
I thought it was all right. I liked the concept of it. I liked how the characters interact with each other. I like that there's a final guy. I mean, you don't see that every day. I didn't like the runtime. They could have cut like 30 minutes out of this movie easy, or 20 minutes. If there's parts of it that kind of dragged and it felt like it ran out of steam.
You know, almost I don't know if it was intended to, but it was giving me the Thing vibes.
Oh yeah. There's this one specific scene where they're doing a test to see who might be infected, and it was very much like the Thing.
Yes. Okay.
Also,
So
I like the elderly actress that punched this lady in the face. She's the same one. She was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2022, and there was something else she was recently in. I can't recall, but she's a scream queen in her own right.
Oh, was she the one that helped kill Leatherface in the 2022 version?
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that
yeah.
the one that came like that was like evil dies tonight type woman?
Yeah, she had the cowboy hat and the shotgun. That was her.
All right.
There was, and I can't remember. There was something else she was in recently. I don't know why I can't remember it. But let's get into From the Dark.
Mark, this isn't the road.
It is the road.
This is saying it's not the road.
I know, look, I know exactly where I'm going.
Oh!
I'm gonna go find a house. You stay with the car.
So just stay with the car.
Stay with the car. Hello? Hey, is there anybody here? There's an old farmhouse not too far down that way.
Hey, did you find someone?
Well, I did, but he needs our help.
Mark.
Mark, run! Run, Mark!
Kira has it. It's Olwen Foray. And that's the movie I was thinking of, The Watchers. While the trailer was playing, I did look her up and found out she was also in Mandy and Tarot. So she's making the horror rounds. What did you think of From the Dark?
Um, uh, well, I didn't. I thought it could have been a little bit more faster paced. I mean, if you really, I'll give you my honest opinion. I didn't like the guy from the jump, the boyfriend or
Oh, the
whatever the hell he
boyfriend.
was.
Yeah, the boyfriend was a jerk.
He was a jerk the whole time, and then I thought like the vampire, the way what he was doing with his hands, like when he was walking around with his hands like out to the
hmm
side,
hmm
but
It's meant to look like the poster from Salem's Lot.
yeah, yeah, but I get where they're coming from the dark with it,
hmm
but yeah, without giving up too much because I guess Double Feature wants to watch it. They haven't seen it and they would like to, but um, spoiler, no non-spoiler alert. The pacing could be faster.
Yeah, the pacing absolutely can be faster. I think what's difficult with it is because there's literally only these two characters and the threat that they have to come up against.
Um,
As you can see in the pictures, this couple is traveling through the Irish countryside. I don't know whether they are on vacation or what the deal is. They never really explicitly said why they were in Irish countryside, but they get lost in their GPS and their car gets stuck in the mud. So they get out to walk over to this house. First, the guy goes to the house and leaves her by the car, and then he ends up coming back and getting her, and they go to the house together to try to get help. And they are accosted by a creature, and the whole time of the movie is just one night. It all takes place in one night in one house with just these two characters and the threat that they have to come up against. And I think that's what made it difficult. It's a bottle film, and takes place in just one setting, and it kind of got tedious because it almost felt like, I mean, I'll have to say what it is. It's a vampire. They have to deal with a vampire. But I feel like the vampire could have got them at any time. It felt like he was playing with them, like, I'm gonna bite you. No, I'm not. I'm just playing. Then he
ha ha
pop
ha
back
ha.
out. I'm gonna bite you. It's like,
Trick.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. And it just seemed like he was doing that all night. It's like if you wanted to get these two, you could have been got them. It's like really annoying what you're doing here.
Yeah, like the dude, like the boyfriend when he got injured,
hmm
he was just a waste of time. Like I swear to God, if I was her, I'd have been like, you know what, you stay here.
hmm
Like
Yeah, I'll be
for,
like, I'm gonna go get help because all he was doing was holding her up,
pretty much,
slowing her down.
but he put her in that position because the first thing, without I'm just this is part of the movie, so I'm just gonna say when they're driving and they hit that pothole, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go get help. You stay with the car. Like, no, I would never leave someone by themselves with a car. You have the keys, lock the door, you both walk somewhere. Strength in numbers. It's
hmm
just, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's strength. There's strength in like knock, and then to get out of the ditch. Anybody that's driven in snow
hmm
knows that. First of all, you don't gun the engine. You pull it back, go back and forth, but you never gun the engine because you're gonna spin the tires. You're gonna dig yourself deeper in the hole, or you put some trees in there, or you put something in there to get the grip. These two, he was just not helping at all. You know what else you can use? I found out you
What?
can use a lug wrench. The lug wrench.
Yeah,
If you
that's like
put that in a
the
ditch,
X. That
yeah,
yeah.
you put that in a ditch. It helps you get it helps you get the car out. Like if you just leave it because it gives you a grip. Hello, hello, Marty. How are you today? I'm not going to do what I do all the time. I'm just going to say hello.
hmm We got to have Marty on the show sometime, probably.
Yes, it would be great to have Marty on the show.
hmm Right now is a good time to take a really short ad break, like 22 seconds, but we will be right back. or helped you pass the time, please consider supporting this channel so that I can do that more. Horror channels often get suppressed and demonetized, but you can help in 3 ways: by pledging a monthly contribution on Patreon, sending a one-time tip using your preferred financial app, or you could help for free by liking and commenting for the algorithm, and most importantly, sharing this video on your social media. Thank you so much.
Hey, welcome back. Let's get into my pick of the weekend, which was The Boys from County Hell.
Science? Older than God? The Earth has its own secrets. And if you get close enough, you'll hear it.
Haven't you guys got anything better to do?
Nope. No, we don't.
This land belonged to Abertag. He drained people's blood and drink it like water.
Like Dracula.
Fuck Dracula.
I'd love to know if there's actually anything under there.
We'll find out soon enough.
I saw something weird.
Whose foot's that?
Fuck this, I'm out!
There's a vampire! Oh my sake!
We fucker shout about me.
This isn't Dracula. People don't get turned from a fucking bite. They get turned by the stones from Abertag's grave.
Fucking move, will ya?
We need better weapons. Are there any ideas in there?
What about sunlight? I mean, that is the #1 vampire killer.
Burn, you bastard.
Oh, shit. If Abertag binges all night, the whole town's gonna be dead as fuck.
I moved to the wrong fucking town.
Give me shit!
Oh, come on, like, what are we supposed to do about this?
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I do agree with this. It was a fun comedic ride.
I definitely agree with that because I mean, if you look at the tone, like I'm big on like tones and stuff like that when movies, and if you look at this tone, the tone of this movie as opposed to the one that we watched before that one, it's totally different, and more of a rocking and rolling and funny and action, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. I do like right there in the bottom left, I would say, on my left. If anybody's watching, like, you see the stream with the old man with the blood running down his eyes. I did like how that was pretty cool. How they did that.
Yeah, it was like, well, the effect itself was really cool of making the blood come out of their ears, their eyes. I think the nose a little bit too, but mostly the eyes and the ears. But that's a really cool effect. I haven't seen the blood coming out of the eyes since like maybe it's the Gates of Hell trilogy. It's either like the House by the Cemetery, Gates of Hell, or The Beyond, where somebody's eyes were bleeding like that. It was a really cool effect. Yeah, it's not done very often.
Yeah, he
yes, yeah, like a bloodbender from Avatar,
or the blood lady from what do you call it, Generation V?
Yep.
Yeah, see, what made me laugh though, I think Marty, you can answer this question. Is it true? I mean, are there like legends of that little pyramid thing that with the rocks and stuff, or is that just like, have you seen them? Just a weird question. I was thinking that when I watched it, but I'll get back to that in a minute. But I did like the dad. I thought the dad was awesome. The dad,
Yeah, like I liked his character.
when he broke his leg and he was like, "Oh, fuck." Like the way
Even the way he just interacted with his son, because he knew that it's like he was a more grounded character and his son was a little bit more driven to flights of fancy, is what I would say. He was more likely to go off the beaten path. And
Mhm.
you could tell how much it irritated his father that he would not just kind of just keep up the status quo, just keep things the way they are, and how because he didn't keep things the status quo in the way they are, he accidentally caused all this to happen.
Well, yeah, yeah, but I did like the fact that what he so that thing wasn't a vampire, or he was a vampire, but the rocks
The
they took.
rocks were placed over the vampire's grave, and they're to keep the vampire in the grave. And no one was supposed to remove the rocks. But the younger people in the town did not believe the older people who told them this legend about the rocks.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's
And
okay. Then
to the point where they were in the if you look at the picture in the top center top, you can see the couple that's there with these two young men that they're visiting from Canada is where they said they were
yes,
from. And these guys take them over to see the rocks and tell them about the legend. Also, side note, the bar that they're in or the pub that they're in is called the Stoker. And they mention Bram Stoker being actually from Ireland, which I didn't know. But they would have people pay them to take them around and see these rocks. Marty says, yeah, there's cairns and fairy forts that you don't mess with. My folks are pragmatic people and they don't believe in that shite. But I had to say, Marty, sorry. But regardless, they don't mess with it. Yes.
huh?
Hmm.
That's pretty interesting.
It's kind of like certain things we believe here in the States. Well, I can't speak for um, European Americans, but for Native Americans and some Black Americans, whistling at night is something that you don't do.
Whistling
Because,
past the graveyard.
yeah, that too.
Why don't you whistle at night? I do.
You're not supposed to whistle at night. It's supposed to call negative spirits or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think I did when I used to walk to the cornfield in East Hartford?
Yeah, you weren't supposed to do that.
oh, okay. I didn't know. But
And
yeah,
then
three
and then
three in the morning.
there's also legends in America that depend upon where you're from. Like I was watching this video about Appalachia and how there's creatures in the forest that if they make certain noises or if they try to imitate human beings, you're not to acknowledge or answer them. You just keep walking and pretend you didn't even hear it.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, even those are legends. But I think this, on a sidetrack a little bit. I remember I told you about what the alligators were doing in India. Like
I
nature
do.
finds a way that they were imitating drowning people in the
Yes, yes,
water,
yes, yes, yes.
and then
There's a
people would.
question. There's a
Oh,
question
there
for
is.
you from Acres of Movies. Have you seen Mothman Prophecies?
Yes.
A long time ago, I saw it, and that's also something that's very regional. The Mothman. We have a lot of cryptids in America when you think about it, because we have the Sasquatch, we have the Abominable Snowman, we have the Jersey Devil, we have the Mothman. Who am I missing? If you count the Caribbean, in Puerto Rico, you have the Chupacabra. Like we have a bunch of cryptids.
We have one down here called the swamp ape.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the swamp ape.
And then of course you have the fairy circles up north of us.
Hmm.
It's just yeah, I guess
Like to this day, my father and his siblings swear that they saw a fairy dancing on a stump when they were children.
yeah,
It's him and like four of his siblings. They all said they saw the fairy dancing on a stump.
but I'm sorry to get back to the aces, acres of movies. Yes, when I saw them off, I keep quoting it to this day when I go, 10 dead on the river or whatever the moth said about the bridge that collapsed. I still do it to this
You should
day.
do that because I thought that was a real thing. Didn't
Yeah,
that bridge
it did
really
happen.
collapse? Yeah.
And Marty says you never fook with
Are we pronouncing that right? Karen? I'm gonna look that word up.
Karen's superstition or not. That's someone's. Oh, it must be talking about graves.
See, yeah, the stones there.
The Loch Ness monster. I don't believe in the Loch Ness
Pronunciation.
monster.
Kearns. Wait, let me see on my phone.
Cairns.
Kearns. I'm gonna play it again.
Cairns.
Kearns.
Does it say what it is?
Oh, I clicked off it already.
Oh,
I'll go back though.
just check it out and tell me. But yeah, like
Okay, it says a mound of rough stones built as a memorial or landmark, typically on a hilltop or skyline.
Okay. No, I don't like. I feel like that's disrespectful to the people that have that are no longer on this mortal coil.
Mhm.
But I mean, I don't like. I still would. I just didn't think that whistling past the graveyard was a bad thing, or whistling at night.
Yeah, it's. Oh, Marty actually answered us. Says they're burial mounds.
Yeah, I don't go anywhere near that. Like when there's like a funeral or whatever, I will not even walk. Like I feel like I'm walking for people. So like I'll take the long way around to the headstone of my grandfather or whatever. I don't go across. That's just new. It's to me that's just disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. I when I was looking that up, I also found that they also do that in Hawaii, and they call them ahu.
Ahu.
And by Native Americans, Wawanaquisik.
Ah.
So it's something that happens in multiple places.
Yes. Okay. So now, let's see what Kira has to say. You have to respect them. You do. You have to respect the dead, the people that have moved on. Now, speaking of Irish vampire movies. Sorry, the movies that we watch, much like The Boys from County Hell, we watched this other horror comedy called it's called Let the Wrong One In. I really thought. Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, the trailer. No, I was gonna say to Let the Wrong One In. To me, it sounded like it was gonna be like a scary movie. But go ahead.
Why? It's literally the title itself is a parody of another vampire.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of like when I say scary movie, I mean Scary Movie 1, Scary Movie 2, Scary Movie 3. I thought it was going to be like one of those, like not another teen movie type things. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, speaking of that, before I hit play on this, have you finished reading my Let the Right One In book yet?
I don't know. I don't think so. It might be in storage.
No, I lent it to you. I took it out of storage and lent it to you. I hope you didn't lose my book.
Why would I lose your book? I have to look. I'm telling you, I packed all my books away in a box. It's probably in the storage.
Okay,
in my storage.
Because I didn't finish reading it yet. I want to finish reading. I do have a copy of it on my tablet, but I kind of don't like reading digital books. I like reading paper books.
Speak for yourself. I love digital books. No.
All right, let's check out this trailer.
Wait a second. You've been bitten on the neck. You're allergic to sunlight. And you don't like the garlic fries. You know what this sounds like? I think I turned.
That's me only clean shirt. Oh, sorry, buddy. Deco, put two and two together. No, you're a vampire.
Oh, bollocks. What's going to happen when people start avoiding me like the plague? People do that anyway.
Shake your hand for your wife.
Any chance of a bit of blood?
You know.
Come on, I'll only have a sip.
We need a doctor. ASAP.
Where's the patient?
Come on out.
Why?
So I can stake you.
He's a Brit. I knew it.
Why are you trying to kill me brother?
I'm sorry.
If we don't nip this in the bud, then the whole city will be overrun with these blood-sucking sods.
I want you to teach me how to kill vampires.
Good.
I don't think we're a bit of a lisp at these. Yeah, it's very noticeable.
Oh no, you a vampire? Oh my god, you ought to be a bloody shame, Jessica.
Enough! Will you both just stop?
Everything has its drawbacks, like the epoxy sunlight.
Oh really?
And I don't think vampires can get bonus.
Oh really?
No, I think you're thinking of zombies, you tick.
Where's me fucking rabbit?
There you are, you little bollocks.
Yes.
Tom Baker says Irish horror. Does Halloween 3 count? In storyline, yes, because they did connect it to Stonehenge, and they called, I forgot, the cult was the Cult of Thorn, and they used when you think about it, in both Halloween 3 and I think Halloween 6, they used the rune stones, the Irish rune stones also. Yeah, all the blood vomit was gross.
Is Stonehenge in Scotland or Ireland?
I think it's in Ireland. This looks like yet another fun ride. LOL. I love utilizing humor and horror when done right. We'll be watching. Yeah, and this one is on Shudder, by the way. If you have Shudder.
Yes, it's very. I laugh. I was laughing the whole time. You know, just a couple of scenes like were kind of corny, but I like the vampire dude. I
There's
thought he was funny as hell.
There's another version of Irish vampires, Dergdu. They're more succubus, the vampire, and they tend to be female. And according to legend, they tend to something else before they suck blood to lure men. Ooh, oh, let me look. I'm gonna write that down. We can look that
What,
one
I
up.
wonder what they. I wonder what they tend to.
Well, since they're a succubus, I'm sure it's something. I was still writing that down. You took it down. Do.
You have another question, by the way, from Acres of Movies.
Would you rather go on a dark ride for Halloween 3 or the Leprechaun franchise? Probably the Leprechaun franchise. I kind of like those. They're funny.
He also says Dark Ride. Marty.
Let me write that one down. Dark Ride. All right, and then
I'd have to agree with this one. Kind of.
I am not a fan of horror comedies. Shaun of the Dead and a couple other movies get a pass. I don't want to laugh at my horror. I just want to be terrified. Yeah, I can understand that. I like your profile picture though. That is so cool.
Well, to just comment, if Shaun of the Dead, like this one is, Let the Wrong One is almost like Shaun of the Dead when it comes to like, but why does Shaun of the Dead get a pass?
Oh, because well, they're saying that they don't ordinarily like horror comedies, but they like Shaun of the Dead. That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
that's the exception to their rule, that they prefer straight horror, not with comedy, but Shaun of the Dead is their exception to the rule. I think some other good horror comedies, Return of the Living Dead, and there's certain segments of Creepshow that are pretty funny.
Yes, and then the double feature. I saw you referring to
Bacchus.
Bacchus.
I'm not. They might be asking
Marty.
Someone else. And yeah, Neil Jordan has made good Irish horror with Byzantium. Yeah, we mentioned that earlier, that I didn't get a chance to watch Byzantium yet, but I heard it was so good, and it's also about vampires.
And then,
but it's definitely on my watch list.
Oh.
It's Shaun of the Dead. Grabbers. I thought Grabbers would make a good double feature with Shrooms. I think Shrooms is I saw Grabbers, but I haven't seen Shrooms, but I saw the trailer for Shrooms, and it looked like it might be a good double feature with Grabbers. I forgot about Housebound. I totally forgot that was an Irish horror film.
Oh,
Is it? Wait. Or
I have a question for all of you.
As a horror comedy. Hold on.
But
Housebound was good. Go ahead.
My question was for everyone. Would you, because I haven't seen Grabbers, would you say it's like funny, like Let the Wrong One In? Or is it different? Or is it more like Attack the Block, kind of like humorous?
It's like, I want to say either Marty or the twins said last week that it was like Tremors, an Irish Tremors.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Referring to.
Yeah,
it is, but
Housebound is New Zealand, but it's still a good horror comedy.
What's it called?
Byzantium.
That sounds like something you would put on a rash. Like, I don't know. Like, but I want to see it now, but okay. Oh wait, what's this say? Mark Chat says I auditioned for Let the Wrong One In. My pal plays the taxi driver in it.
Wait, I'm not hearing that clearly. Could you reread that?
I said Mark Chat says, I auditioned for Let the Wrong One In. My pal plays the taxi driver in it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see. Hold on a second. Sorry, I got to do a cough break while you chit chat.
Okay. Let me see. He also made Interview with a Vampire movie. Yes, I really love Interview with a Vampire. It's one of the only horror films I can say was so um thematically and feel close to the novel. Like when you read Interview with a Vampire and then you watch the movie, at first glance I didn't see it for Tom Cruise as Lestat, but he actually kind of pulled it off, especially since they kind of, I would say, did like a reverse role casting, because I honestly probably would have put Brad Pitt as Lestat and put Tom Cruise as Louis. And even the fact that they both had to wear um, opposite color wigs, because Tom Cruise has the dark hair, and at that time Brad Pitt had a light hair, and they had Brad Pitt in the dark hair and Tom Cruise in the light hair, and they pulled it off. The one character that they did not pull off very well was oh god, I'm forgetting his name now. I'm drawing a blank, but the character played by Antonio Banderas, that character is only supposed to be 14 years old, which is why he was so upset when he saw the little girl, because he felt horrible that he was turned into a vampire as a child. So to see another child vampire really triggered him. That's why he felt the way he felt about I don't know why I'm blanking on names, but you know who I'm talking about.
My
But
my
yeah,
que-
it's a great movie.
my question is an Interview with the Vampire. I probably will never see it, but does Tom Cruise have that horrible English accent like he did in that Dracula one we saw?
No. Well, Interview with a Vampire takes place in New Orleans around the 17 or 1800s. So,
Okay, so
um,
he has no English accent like
no, I wouldn't even know how to describe his accent. Um, I think he's supposed to, in the book, Lestat is supposed to sound French, but I don't think Tom Cruise sounded French at all. Um, Kira says Byzantium is a great film, not frightening, but a uniquely good vampire origin story. And also says follows a mother and daughter who are vampires on the run. Yeah, A Company of Wolves. That's a good one too. I have to rewatch that one. I haven't seen it in years. I'd love to see it. Like my memory of A Company of Wolves is on VHS, so it would be great to see it if they've remastered it or made like a HD or 4K version. Tom pulled it off. I would agree. Make a Halloween 3 direct sequel and have James Spader play um, a Connell Cochran relative. Yeah, you could do that. I always thought that with Halloween 3, they could have tied it into the story by just simply saying that Michael Myers' mask that he first had as a child was one of the first prototypes for the Silver Shamrock mask. And instead of doing what they meant for it to do, it drove him crazy. That's all they had to do. It's right there. It's so easy. I don't know why they refuse to do that.
if you remember.
Armand, that's the character's name. Thank you. Armand, that character in the book is 14 years old, and Antonio Banderas was way too old to be playing him.
Oh. Well, if you remember, Halloween was supposed to end at 2 and that was it. But
No, it was supposed to end at 1. They didn't even want to make a sequel. They wanted it to be an anthology series, but a check is a check, and they couldn't turn down that. The first movie made so much money, and the studio was like, "Hey, look at this money." And they were
yeah.
like, "Okay." And I
Yeah.
said it's John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, because those are the two that co-wrote that, both Halloween and Halloween 2.
I had that book when I was a child. Oh, like the remember how they used to make books in the bookstore that was it was a novel based on the screenplay of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, I had that book. It was pretty good actually. There was a lot more gory than what you could get away with, I guess, on movies at that time.
Oh, okay. Acres of Movies says, I watched your programs for a while. Then I had to make a new account on this new phone and couldn't find the other streams I used to follow on the new phone. Then someone explained to me how to use YouTube. That's cute. But welcome back.
Yes, welcome.
I'm glad to see that you're back, Stacy. Halloween became a money-making machine despite some entries being better. Yes, absolutely. Thanks to Marty, by the way, he put me up on some new Irish film offerings. And what makes these very, very interesting is that they are actually in Gaelic. The first one that he sent me was called, wait, let me look at my notes on how to pronounce it. An Tivsha. It's called An Tivsha. and it translates as the ghost.
Heb je heel een toe van Chaka Disha?
Probably.
She mai. Mal enemy there I let you know. Benefits Williams talking. Bonnesak. Another kind of told me the yellow nish. Especially in Cesar. You have to go for freshen.
Alexander Rush.
What'd you guys think of that? It's the first trailer I've ever seen that was in Gaelic.
Yeah. That movie, I will like when it comes out to DVD. I'll probably already see it, but this is the type of movie I would watch by myself with all the lights off because I like ghostly movies. I've always liked them.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why that's coming up behind that, but it says the first Irish language horror film.
That's your volume button.
What is my volume too low? Or I moved away from the mic for a hot second.
No, I'm talking about there. I see the volume on the
Yeah,
thing.
I don't know why that's on top of the thing, but let me read this. I have to remember Taibhse, because in Gaelic things are spelt differently than how we would when we look at it in English. It doesn't look phonetically the way we would say it. So that's why I keep referring to my notes that it's pronounced on Taibhse. It's kind of like I had a classmate whose name was Neve, but the way it was spelled, you would think it would be pronounced Naim, but it's Neve. And also Saoirse is another name like that, where it has the pronunciation is different than how we recognize the sounds of how do I say it? The way we would say it in English is not the way they would say it in Gaelic.
You remember?
But they're really beautiful names.
Do you remember that neighbor's name that used to live above you? The one that gave us the Dalmore
Siobhan.
Scotch, Siobhan. Okay,
Siobhan.
yeah.
But her name, it was spelled like you would think it would be Siobhan, but it's pronounced Siobhan.
Yeah. That was.
Says I'm scared. It reminds me of The Wailing. It does look creepy, doesn't it?
What is have you seen The Wailing?
Lights up. I have seen The Wailing. I think you would like it.
Okay.
And he says I'm you know what, let me take this down because it's
There you go.
okay. I'm glad we're finally getting Irish language movies that aren't just melodramas. I love the post-famine setting of this. Wow, honored to talk to you, Kira, and and you all happy to be here. Very, very nice. Not a horror movie, but one with Colin Farrell called Ondine was good, about a sea beast. I don't remember. Let me write that one down. Ondine. Okay. The Wailing was creepy. Now, when I went back to look for on Taibhse, I found another film that is coming out on Shudder. Wait, it's not playing.
Yeah,
Hold
I
on.
was gonna say.
Let me try that again. For some reason, it was not playing.
It's stuck on that.
Yeah, we'll try it again. Here we go.
I'm ready, you must be here.
Oh, let me rewind it. Sorry about that. And this film is also in Gaelic.
I'm ready, you must be here. Look! Her primary care on Shaw May.
You're aware the patient has mental health issues, dementia, paranoia, delusions.
I wasn't actually told that.
Tuaim dá laid agad sa céir is peanú so.
The clock to what Murphinos. No, I'm ready, you must be here. Walk to a good Billy.
Tá tú grímáil ar tain. Tusa atá sé d'íra.
Frewaka. I'm glad. Well, let me write this. We'll read this one first. Marty says puka is another term for ghost, but also refers to spirit or demon. There's a horror movie, I think, on Hulu called Puka. I'm glad you wrote this out. This is what I was talking about, TonyMan. He says, ironically, I went out with a Siobhan and a Neve or Nev. This is pronounced Siobhan, and the Siobhan is Siobhan, and Niamh is Nev. And I just knew that just because Siobhan that lived upstairs from me and Nev that was in my class in college.
Yeah. But to me, it's funny just how like we had I saw a last name the other day that was like what was it? Oh my gosh. I'm drawing a blank. Keep talking. I don't remember. Oh, Kelleher. It was Kelleher. And they were like, "Are you Irish?" And she was like, I don't think so. But I'm like, if your name is Kelleher, because everybody thinks that like O'Shaughnessy is the only line, like like with an O in front of it. But
yeah, or Mac, like McNeil.
Yeah, that's all.
Reminds me of the Taking of Deborah Logan. Yep, that was another good one. You know what? I'm going to share my screen because as I mentioned earlier about my Irish horror list. Let me see if I can add it up here.
Yeah. By the way, thanks Marty for these movies.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see both of them actually because I like these kind of ghostly, creepy horror movies like this. But yeah, any other oh wait, hold on. We can't get to that. You got the play button in the way again.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it so I can take it down.
Oh, you're having an Irish themed ball with dancing and decorations. What Irish tinged horror character would you have as a greeter?
Stitch is the clown.
Yeah. I would have that vampire as a
Which
greeter.
one?
The vampire from that movie with the asshole husband dude. Hold on, I gotta look at everything's going on at once here. Sorry.
There we go.
From the Dark. Yeah, I would have that vampire from the Dark be my greeter. You got
Oh, that's a good one too. Conal Cochran. That's the older gentleman from Halloween 3 that was making the silver shamrock masks. All right. So what I have for my if you notice, my list is compiled by what did I just watch, which was my channel name. I changed my channel name, but my review show is still called What Did I Just Watch, and my website is still whatdidijustwatch.com. And I have Rawhead Rex from 1986. And then it just jumps to Dead Meat in 2004, which I haven't seen yet. You can tell which ones I've seen because most of them that I've seen, I rated. I didn't rate all the ones that I've seen because I switched to Letterboxd halfway through this. But I have not seen Dead Meat. I did see Isolation. I thought it was pretty good. Shrooms, as you can see, is on my list. Daisy Chain is on my list. Wakewood. I think I would probably make this higher. I think I would rate this more of a 5 than a 4. I don't know what I was going through. Grabbers, I gave it a 5. Citadel, I gave a 6. Stitches, a 5. Byzantium, as you can see, I'm still gonna watch that. The Inside, I just recently found out about. I hadn't known about that. In Fear, Dark Touch, Let Us Pray, which actually has been remade since this one came out. The Canal, From the Dark, The Hollow, which is another little creature movie. I Am Not a Serial Killer. I see that I rated it, but for some reason I don't remember this movie. Why do I not remember it? That's weird. And the same thing with A Dark Song. I haven't seen A Dark Song. Why are these rated when I didn't see these two? I might have hit that by mistake, but I don't think I saw those two. Without Name, Beyond the Woods, Cronewood, Nails. I did see The Killing of a Sacred Deer. That's on Netflix. That's more of a dark drama than a straight up horror film. I would say a dark drama. The Lodgers is another one. It's more of a dark mystery thriller than straight horror. But if you go into it knowing that you're going to see a mystery thriller, that kind of would remind you of like The Innocents. You definitely would like that. The Cured is a zombie movie, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't gotten to see it yet. Don't Leave Home. It's another one. The Devil's Doorway, I did get to see it. It's kind of a found footage possession type movie. The Nightingale. TonyMan, we watched The Nightingale. That was the movie with the Irish woman that was in indentured servitude, and the people kept playing with her, not giving her freedom papers, and they did something terrible to her child and her husband, and she goes on a quest with the Aboriginal man.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that movie?
Yes, I do.
That was The Nightingale. Very, very, very powerful drama, I would say. Very, very powerful.
We have a question really quick. Sorry.
Okay.
Have
you seen? Go ahead.
Have you seen I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the Dark? I think it's that it's British, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, that is. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that Oz Perkins' first movie he directed? I remember seeing it years ago on Netflix. It's kind of a slow burn. That's what I remember about it.
Yes. Sorry. Marty and the double feature having a conversation, but yes.
Oh, okay.
Add Hole in the Ground to your watch list double feature.
Yeah.
You guys will enjoy that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the ones I remember. Like it's like still in my brain.
Marty says avoid shrooms and Boy Eats Girl, like the clap. Okay, because I didn't really. I watched a little bit of Boy Meets Girl. I don't even think I finished that movie. And shrooms is bad. I'm sad to hear that. Extraordinary. Vivarium I did see. I watched that with my sister. That is, oh my goodness, that it's trippy. It's very trippy. And it's very sci-fi, mystery. It's not straight up horror. It's very like an elongated episode of The Twilight Zone. We just talked about Sea Fever. The Other Lamb I have on my list, but I'm not sure what it's about, or at least I don't remember. The Boys from County Hell we talked about. Caveat. I saw that maybe 2-3 years ago. It was on Shudder. And Caveat, it has the same director as Oddity, if I'm not mistaken. Kira says The Other Lamb was great.
Caveat. She also says Caveat's great.
And also says that Caveat is great. Acres a movie says, "Okay, thanks. I remember that one and enjoyed it."
And then they say,
Kira
oh, you
says,
just picked it off.
Kira, wait, Mika says, Kira told me the Nightingale was brutal, and the way she described it to me, I said, no, it is. It's very much, oh God, I would probably compare it to like Beloved, an Australian Irish Beloved, especially since the subject matter is about her trying to gain her freedom out of indentured servitude, and how people got played, like a lot of Irish people got played with that, because from what I was reading about it, there were times where like a British person could get mad at an Irish person and just lie and say they stole something, and then it would get sent into certain amount of years of indentured servants. But then once they became an indentured servant, it was up to whoever was their master to give them their freedom papers. And some people gave them their freedom papers after their agreed upon time, which would be like 5 years, 8 years, whatever. And some people didn't give them their freedom papers and just was like, nah, you're just gonna do what I say whenever, since you don't have your papers. And she's in that position where the person that's supposed to give her her freedom papers refuses to give her her freedom papers, and also physically assaults her in a intimate way repeatedly.
A lot.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad. And also at the same time, since it takes place in Australia, you're also seeing the enslavement of the Aboriginal people. Like literally you see them at one point and they are chained up with the shackles around their necks and all that. It's a very, very difficult watch. The only thing that makes it cathartic is the ending, and how, certain people got their come up in the ending, and it was like, yeah, I'm glad you got because you deserve that.
got.
Follow the Dead is another one. I want to say, looking at the poster, it looks like it's something to do with social media, and I'm kind of a sucker for social media movies. Acres of Movies says, I hear A24 is pushing Acid Mountain to 2027. A war crimes lady runs a secret camp and acids and straitjackets and masks them and makes them roll with knives on cliff sides and scores the results. Wow. That sounds like really, really, really intense. I have to let me write that down. Acid Mountain. I'll keep that on my watch list. Acid Mountain.
And then Marty says, it's not a horror, despite the title. Banshees of
Inisherin
is amazing. Study toxic masculinity, immense inability to communicate emotionally with one another, leading to tragic results.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that, but then I heard something online about an animal getting hurt, and I didn't want to see the animal get hurt. I know it sounds crazy because I watch, all kind of people get decapitated, but when it's like an innocent animal, I don't want to see it get hurt. Marty, does an animal get hurt in the movie?
That's like the other things that we like. I've seen people get upset, like they can watch somebody get their head split 17 ways a Sunday and their body dismembered, but you show up a little bit of a boob. Oh my God. It's like, oh, the nudity. It makes me laugh.
They want to build a big campaign for that. The villain is a woman that does war crimes, and they don't know how to best set that up. Well, there's women through history that did war crimes. What about Ava Braun? She did war crimes of war. It's not like it's not a historical fact. I mean, not in this specific instance, but there have been women that have done what do you call it? Broken the laws of war. Wanted to watch that. Heard great things. Feel the same way about animals and children. Yeah. There's the scene with the baby. I want to say it happens off camera. Either it happens off camera or my mind has blocked it out. You know that it happens, but I don't think you see it happen.
No, I believe it's. I want to say it's off camera.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not. No,
so
it
then
was.
my mind just blocked it out. It was so traumatic that my mind said, "No, I did not see that."
I remember that scene.
Okay, Says, yeah, we were sent to Van Diemen's Land, Australia, for trying to eat or eke out. And yes, and also in America, a lot of Irish people. That's why we have so many Irish people or people of Irish descent in America, is because of the indentured servants. And even in Jamaica, at one point they sent. This is a crazy story that I read not too long ago, Marty. Is that the first indentured servants they sent to Jamaica had difficulty because it's a tropical climate. They sunburned. They got very dehydrated. They were passing out. So the British decided, well, that's just because they were too old. So then they sent 2,000 Irish children to work the crops in Jamaica. And so that's why you have those children, or the descendants of those children, or when they grew up, is why the Jamaican accent sounds so similar to the Irish accent, because the people ended up pretty much just cohabitating and intermarrying. And that's why when you see people from the West Indies, they can look like anybody because there's a lot of admixture.
And I'm sorry, and to just add on to the soapbox a little bit,
Mhm.
In America, if you remember, there was that sign
Oh, yeah.
that said,
Oh.
if you have a dangerous task,
Oh, yeah,
don't
it says if you have a dangerous task, don't risk losing, an African slave, use an Irishman because they cost less.
Yep.
Yeah, that was but the signs I thought you were talking about was the ones during segregation, where you know how we would have these signs that say whites only, blacks only. They also had signs in certain pubs that would say no dogs or Irish allowed, or
Mhm.
help wanted, Irish need not apply. Like it was
Mhm.
real messed up.
That was
Um,
crazy.
Yeah, and that's probably the real reason why St. Patrick's Day is celebrated so much in America, because it's a way of saying, yeah, you treated us like trash for being Irish. You tried to make us feel ashamed of ourselves, and this is the day we're going to tell you we're not ashamed of ourselves, and we're going to stand up and say we're proud that we're Irish. So I
But
think that's why it's so impactful.
Aces of Movies has another question.
Favorite Leprechaun.
Good. Favorite
Okay.
Leprechaun movie, Shosh?
They rank theirs 2, 3, 1, 4, and would have to rewatch the other ones to rank
Nah.
the later ones.
I have mine too.
I would say, because I remember more the tagline than the number, Leprechaun in the Hood would probably be my favorite.
That's one.
Yeah. Then probably Leprechaun in Space.
No.
Yes, Leprechaun in Space. Then Leprechaun 1, Leprechaun 2, then Leprechaun in Vegas,
That
then
was good.
Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
Yes. Nah, see, it's just mine go Leprechaun in the Hood and then Leprechaun Back to the Hood. And then that's it.
Mhm.
I mean, Leprechaun 1 was okay. But you remember they remade it with a Hornswoggle?
Mhm.
It was the remake of Leprechaun was horrible, I think.
Mhm. Okay, I'm glad to hear that you don't see it. Says you don't see it happen, and it's not grisly. As a result of one guy's action, another character's pet dies accidentally. Not graphic death of non-graphic death of animal. Okay. Sadly, it has become that way in Southern California. From what I hear, workers that do not speak Spanish are told not even to apply. There's places in South Florida that are like that too, because of their population. But it's a little bit different because the Irish need not apply had nothing to do with language or serving a population. It was just purely for discriminatory reasons. Whereas the wanting a bilingual person at a job is more about the community. If they're serving a largely Spanish community, then they need bilingual people to be able to interact with the community.
All I can say is if you want to see what the temperature was back then, watch Gangs of New York.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was pretty much that's what it was.
And there's also a book. It's called How the Irish Became White.
Kira says she loves part 1 and 2.
Marty says, look up a book called Stolen Village by Des Ekin. It's a messed up story.
You could say foot.
Yeah. Oh, let me get back to this list because
Sorry, we got
there's still
sidetracked.
some more. We got sidetracked. Okay, we were talking about Follow Dead, then Sun. Sun, I did see. I did not rate it, but it's kind of a possession, not really possession, but Antichrist type story. Bring Out the Fear. I don't remember what that one was about. You Are Not My Mother. I just recently added this week. I think it's on Shudder. I want to watch that. That's on my watch list. We talked about Let the Wrong One In. The Cellar is also on my watch list. Mandrake, I keep hearing really good things about it, so I put it on my watch list, and it's also on Shudder. Unwelcome, I think I watched that on Shudder. The Gates, I'm not sure where it's playing, but I added it. Double Blind. Apocalypse Clown, I know nothing about it except for the title is Apocalypse Clown, and it's an Irish horror. All You Need Is Death. Lord of Misrule. The title just made me curious about it. Oddity, we talked about. And then the last two would be, see, I forget the pronunciation. It's called The Ghost and On Taibhse. On Taibhse comes out. Let's see how closely this comes out to Frewaka, because I know this is the first horror movie in Gaelic. Comes out March 28th, so just this Friday coming. And then the other one comes out in April.
That one, the Taibhse.
Yeah, on Taibhse or the Ghost.
You'd probably have to go see that like in the Enzian.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it would be an art house, like an art house theater type of thing.
But I would say it still.
And then Frewaka comes out in April sometime. Let me see if it says April 25th. So we got two coming out in the springtime.
Huh. You see what Marty said?
No, I didn't see it. Let's see. He says, fun fact, Irish folks over here didn't drink on St. Patrick's Day till after 1970 because it was a holy day. The pub were made to close. Yeah, that is funny because here it's very much not only a drinking day, but a lot of people seek out specifically Irish beers to drink.
Yeah. Like, if you remember, we did that one year. We went in Philadelphia. We went on the Aaron Express.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on St. Patrick's Day, and it was a school bus that just, you paid to go on a school bus, and it took you from bar to bar to bar
from
to
pub
bar.
to pub to pub.
Great.
But the beer here is so, I don't want to call it weak, but it's not as strong as European beer. So it's like drinking soda or water. Like it would take so much beer for you to get drunk because our beer is so weak.
Yeah, and Marty, it makes me laugh because I don't know if they even if Lady Shasha and them know, but you're not supposed to drink Guinness Stout cold.
Yeah, I hear that the stout beers and the brown beers are supposed to be you're supposed to drink them warm, but I don't like the taste of warm beer. I only like the taste of it when it's ice cold.
No, it's I mean,
it's just my own preference thing. I think I missed a couple comments here. Dolphy says, I was just telling Kira about that, how the Irish became white. Yeah, because they were a long time ago, they were not classified as white in America. It's very interesting how they used what they called phrenology, where they like measure your head, the size of your head or the circumference. Other things they used to do was put a pencil in your hair. And if the pencil stuck in your hair, then you were not considered white. But if the pencil fell out of your hair, then you were considered white. It's such a weird thing. But yeah, it's very interesting how people get reclassified in America. They'll say you're not my mother is great. That's Mika saying that. And Stacy says, I'd like to learn more about Apocalypse Clown. Oh, you know what?
Instead of Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
I just love the name of this. Is there a way to play the trailer maybe?
Let me see. Give me a moment. I'll see if I can pull it up. I'll look for it on IMDb.
But yeah. So Marty, did you have your bacon and cabbage for St. Patrick's Day? Okay. Sorry, I was another cough button. Very warm. So how's everybody doing in the chat anyways? Any good movies? Have you seen any good movies besides Irish movies? Has anybody seen any good horror movies lately? Specifically like found footage because we got it. You want to find it?
Yeah,
This
I gotta
already
pause it.
looks horrible.
It started automatically playing.
All right, I'm
Let's
sorry.
put
I'll
the
let you
sound
play.
on. All right.
In a world on the brink of chaos, as darkness takes hold, 3 heroes emerge with big hearts and even bigger shoes.
What are we looking at?
I'm trapped in a box while screaming.
Oh, because that looked like something else.
The other hand isn't helping.
The world has gone dark. There's something big going on here, and if I'm right, it's bigger than all of us.
Me and her have got a history and a future, by the looks of it.
Oh, what the fuck are you doing?
Did I read the moment wrong?
Wait.
The world was done with clowning. It moved on to TikTok dances and live streaming hand jobs on the dark web. But none of that works now. Everything is obsolete except us.
The world is ours now. We're forming a troupe. Clown Pedo. You know.
I'm going to pause it for 1 second. I actually think clowns would do really well on TikTok. I watch a lot of puppets on there.
Like a torpedo of clowns.
This is our chance to win back the woman that I love.
If I don't make it out of there, tell the world I died with dignity.
You want us to lie?
Well, no.
Just implied I was wearing trousers.
Laughter is the only sane response to a meaningless existence.
Everyone dreams of dying doing what they love. What say we go out clowning?
Yeah.
Was that the actor, the original guy from Shameless at the end there? This guy. Oh, I didn't realize. Him. That looked like the guy from Shameless. Let's see if they.
It looked like one of the guys looked like the Hound too, but I'm not sure. It's so small.
No, because I'm sure he would have got top billing if it was him. Because he's I think is well known enough. No, I guess it's not him, but it looked like him. So that's Apocalypse Clown. So it literally is about clowns during an apocalypse.
That's
awesome.
That's awesome.
When a mysterious technological blackout plunges Ireland into anarchy and chaos, a group of failed wash-up clowns are forced to traverse the country for one last shot at their dreams. And does it say, oh, it's on Freevee and on Prime Video if you have Prime, or if you don't have Amazon Prime, it's $2.99 to rent. So it's available now.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch that one. Any trailer that makes me chuckle, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to watch this one. So I mean, it is now 8:30.
So let me look at a few more comments and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
Okay. Stacy says fantastic. Also, I have corned beef and cabbage Irish style. Often it's good. Yes, it is. Especially if you add some potatoes to it. The Irish-based drama The Field with Richard Harris is good. Okay, and then Mika says, been watching a lot of TV series lately. And Marsh says, another fun fact, a lot of folks still don't realize St. Patrick wasn't Irish. He was Welsh. The notorious Irish pirate Neil of the 9 hostages kidnapped him, and he was sold as a slave to watch sheep. Wow. And it says, I've seen Opus in almost every movie this year, and Magazine Dreams was awesome. Magazine Dreams does look good. I just wish Jonathan Majors would get it together. Like, dude, go to therapy. Opus is also on my watch list. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to watch it, though. Acres, we don't eat corned beef and cabbages, bacon and cabbage. Yeah, Marty, I thought I explained why that is. I'll explain to the people that haven't heard why in the U.S. we have corned beef and cabbage as opposed to bacon and cabbage. It was just economics. A lot of Irish people didn't have the money to afford bacon, so they substituted with corned beef. And since they've been doing it for 100 years, it just stuck. But at the time when they had first come over here, they just could not afford to buy bacon. So they used corned beef and cabbage. And that's why we use corned beef and cabbage over here.
I have questions for Marty because I just want to know, how do you make it? Like, do you fry the bacon first and then put it in the cabbage? Or do you cook it with the cabbage? And how much bacon do you use? These are questions I like to know because I was thinking of making it one day, but I couldn't. I was gonna get like a pound of bacon, and I didn't know if I was supposed to let it boil or fry it up.
Mm-hmm. You're watching this one. Wow. Do you want a themed hotel for Beetlejuice or Hocus Pocus? I think Beetlejuice, the decorations for Beetlejuice would be cooler, especially since I think they're based on the cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I think that's what they're based on. I want to say they're based off of that, but I think the whole Beetlejuice theme, especially when they go into that netherworld realm where they talk to the lady about the afterlife, I think that looks kind of cool. So yeah, I would go with the Beetlejuice theme over Hocus Pocus. Getting education tonight, and I love it, peeps. Cool. Just learning about potato famine from an Irish friend also. Yeah. All right, it is 8:30 and Mr. TonyMan has to get up super early in the morning to go to work. So I guess we will close out the show. Thank you guys. This was a really good conversation. It's just very chill stream. We learned a lot. We had fun talking about some Irish horror films. By the way, I did do a top 20 Irish horror film list. Not top 20. They're not numbered as in best to worst. They're just 20 separate Irish horrors to check out. I did a video on that a few years ago. I reshared it on my community page. So check that out if you haven't seen it just yet. And we will be back next week.
I have a question for you though. Any type of theme for this weekend's movies?
I haven't thought of it yet. I was just going to discuss it.
Okay. I wanted to leave a teaser. I wanted to leave a teaser for the fans.
I don't have a teaser because I don't know what we're doing.
Okay, well, I wanted to leave a cliffhanger so they tune in and figure out what we're going to do.
Do you guys have any ideas?
Found footage.
Found footage? Okay. Yeah, we can do found footage.
No, there's not really that many good ones. I mean, there are some, but
there's some good found footage movies.
I watched the Chernobyl Diaries the other day and I was bored. I turned it off halfway through the movie.
But we can discuss like some of the older ones, like Wreck. That's a great found footage.
Yes, that is a great movie.
Blair Witch Project obviously is iconic because it repopularized found footage. Then you have, do you consider the computer screen movies found footage, like Missing and Unfriended?
You know what I haven't seen? Yes, and I would like to see before Megan is Missing. I haven't seen that.
Oh, you haven't seen Megan is Missing?
No, I have not seen it.
That one scared the babies because it was uploaded to YouTube, and the young kids that were teenagers maybe about 4 years ago, it was during the pandemic. So a lot of them were 13, 14 years old. And when they happened upon Megan is Missing on YouTube, they started sharing it and they thought it was real because they didn't know that it was found footage. And the director of Megan is Missing had to come online, and he made a video and he uploaded it to YouTube and he uploaded it to TikTok to let them know that this is a film that is not real, that Megan is not missing, but it is a cautionary tale and that they should learn from the film.
Another
And he also encouraged them to talk to their parents about the film.
See, now I just have one question before we get out of here, and that's for you. And that is, do you remember the Poughkeepsie tapes?
All I remember is the guy crawling on the floor with the mask. That's all I remember.
Maybe you have to rewatch that one. That's one of my favorite ones.
Oh, another one is Creep.
Creep, yes.
Yeah, Creep was okay. I didn't finish watching the TV show. I only saw the first episode, and I didn't even get to, I didn't get to finish the first episode.
I'm on episode like 3 or 4. There's only like 6 episodes. I enjoy it. I like it.
Okay, so that sounds like a plan. Sounds like next week we'll get into some found footage.
Yes. So Kara agrees with you. Computer screen films, she'd count.
I agree. And Stacy says, thanks and have a great day.
And I say thank you to the chat.
And Marty says, night, guys. Have an awesome evening. Brilliant stream as always. Well, we're trying to get there. This is only our second one, so hopefully we'll be hitting our stride.
Yeah, well, yes, I agree. And you guys tell your friends, smash that like button.
Oh God, don't do that.
I'm kidding. All right.
Marty is like, he has taught me how to support your friends on YouTube so much. I've learned from him
I noticed he's
not
got
just
a wrench.
on here, but and not just on here, but also on Twitter, and he's starting to do a little bit more Instagramming. I would love for him to get on TikTok though, especially with his stop motions. Marty, your stop motions would do numbers on TikTok. Oh my God. You got to see his stop motion videos that he makes with his figurines. Oh my God. They're really good.
I agree.
But Kara liked it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
by
guys.
the way, Mika and Kira are having a stream on Sunday at 7 p.m. So make sure that you are subscribed to them as well. Hopefully we will be able to be in their chat on Sunday.
Yes. I will definitely make a point to get on there.
And with that, you guys have a good night.